Hey y'all, it's Trudy and welcome back to my channel. In this video you can see Miss Morgana there. What she just did was hay stashing. That's what they call it when they actually gather the hay up in their mouth. It's called hay stashing. Just to let y'all know. And she is busy building this nest. And that's a for sure sign that those babies will be coming soon. And here she comes out of the nest box. Hey, Morgana. And this is actually so amazing. I love it when I can catch them doing this. She is actually pulling her fur. And she just started. And I actually got it on video. Cannot believe it. To me, it is so amazing how they do this. They pull the fur and then they will go to the nest box and put it in there. This keeps the babies warm because the newborn baby rabbits are born with no fur at all. So, this is a way for them to stay warm even though it is so hot. I don't think them babies are going to have a problem staying warm, but it's a process. This is what they do. So, who am I to argue with Miss Morgana? She is going to town on that fur. And it just amazes me. I'm like, okay, she's pulled a lot of fur. How much fur can they possibly put in their mouths? I'm thinking she's got it all in her mouth. As you can see, there's some pieces down there, but she will actually collect all of that. And Morgana doesn't waste any time pulling fur, building that nest. She's a really good doe. And I love her so much. She is actually a tricolored doe. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. And right here, I was just showing you the little nest. It doesn't look like a nest yet, but it will before she's done with it. And usually whenever I'm videoing like this, I like it to be absolutely quiet. I mean, my does are pretty much used to me and they know that I do this to them all the time. I constantly watch them have their babies and I do that because, if there's one that's not alive and was stillborn or something, I would suggest that you pull it out immediately. Do not leave it in there because I don't know if I heard it somewheres, but I'm thinking if the baby that is stillborn is in that nest box, the mom will not go in there and she will not feed the little ones and she may even possibly eat them. I don't know. So I don't really take any chances. I try to be here when all of my does have their babies. And if I'm not here, then as soon as I get back from wherever I was going and what I was doing, I go directly out there and check and make sure all of those babies are alive. And see how she's collecting the fur that she didn't, well, that actually fell. And her fur texture is really, really good. You'll have some does, well, I have some does where their fur texture is not that really good, not really good at all. But hers is super soft. I mean, all of my does, they're mini Rexes, all of them are super soft, but it's just a texture. Some of it's not as smooth as others, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And there she goes. She's in the nest box to add the fur in there. It just amazes me. This whole process is so amazing to me. And see the little fur she put in there? That's actually a lot of fur. And then she's collecting what she dropped. And I'm just going to throw this out here. There was one year, and it happened to Morgana, and one year it was so windy whenever she got ready to have her babies. All the fur that she had pulled just blew away. And so what I did, I got on Google and put in there, what do I do if all of my rabbit's fur blows away when she's in labor? And they suggested to take an old pillowcase, an old pillow, and cut it open and get the stuffing out and put it in there. And that's actually what I did. One, I don't know what litter it was, but I can go back on my books and look. And that's what I did, and it actually worked. But you have to be careful with that because sometimes the stuffing in the pillows is like stringy. Because I had to constantly check on my babies because it has the strings and the little strings will wrap around their necks. And actually, that did happen, and that's how I know this. I guess I didn't pull it apart good enough, and it actually was wrapped around one of my kids' neck. But I got to it in time and unwound it, and the baby was fine. And I'm just going to let her continue to do this and let y'all watch and enjoy the show because it is. And if you have a weak stomach, which I do, and I think in this video I kept recording, but I had to turn my head because some of the stuff I saw, it didn't settle very well with my stomach. And right here, what she is doing, she is actually taking a little break. She's actually resting. And they do this. As you can see, she is just right now exhausted. And it is really hot out there for her, so. But she's got a lot of fur in there. And actually, she might be getting ready to have those babies. If you see your does doing this right here, most likely those babies are coming. And I think actually one is coming. Oh yeah. It is, it is, it is. And if you watch her back, it will start jumping here in a minute. I don't know when exactly it does. but it jumps and jumps. That's how I, I guess, can explain it. The best way I can explain it. And what that is I'm assuming contractions. I haven't looked it up, but I know when we go in labor, we have contractions. So I'm thinking when their back jumps the way it does, and you'll see it in just a few minutes, I think that's a contraction. And usually when her back, not only hers, but all of them, when their backs jump like that, that's the only way I can explain it. It looks like it's like jumping, like just moving really fast. And that's usually like when the baby is coming out, I'm thinking. I'm not 100% for sure, but that's what I'm thinking. Because whenever I see their back, I'm thinking, they're pushing one out. I'm trying to zoom in to see if y'all can actually see that back action. And also the baby. And they clean their little kids really, really good. Oh, I think I just saw foot. See her back jumping? I think another one's fixing to come out, or one. I can't tell if there's one in there already. There probably is one in there, actually. And actually, once the birthing process starts right here, it usually takes them less than 10 minutes to have their kits. And sometimes they can. My senior doe, Esther, she's had at least 8 before. Morgana, trying to see what her biggest litter is. I don't know right off the bat. I can go back to my books and find out, but I'm not going to do all that right now. Oh yeah, you see the little baby? I just saw one. It's so exciting. Hi there, little baby. Oh, ooh, that's the part. That's the part I couldn't watch, and I just covered my eyes up because I can't deal with that. And see her back again. See, I really think those are contractions when their back does that. It's so amazing to watch this. Oh, I think that just flew out. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe it did. Did y'all see that? It just like flew out of there. I actually didn't notice it whenever I was recording this, but I just, oh goodness, there she goes again. Morgana. Uh-oh, is another one coming? And this is why in I think the first video that I put on my channel, the taming process, this is why it is so important also to get your bunnies really used to you, especially if you've got does and you plan on breeding them. That taming process, if you get them really used to you, and you have to continue to do it. You just can't get them and then say, okay, I think they're tamed enough, and really not pay them any more attention. You can't do that. All of my does, to this day, I pay attention to them. If I'm just walking by looking, and I'm out there all the time, constantly watching, my does and everything. But I'm actually petting them, talking to them constantly. And when you do that, they won't be as stressed out when like I'm sitting here videoing this of her actually having kids. And it doesn't bother her at all because she's used to me being, not only when she's in labor and having kids and babies, it's all the time I'm out there with my, rabbits and then the kids. But my whole point of that is it's very important that you tame them and get them used to you. Get them used to your voice. And then, if you decide to breed them, then you can do this. And they won't get aggravated. And actually, I won't say they won't get aggravated because some of them still do. Even though they're used to me sometimes. And when they get aggravated, they start to thump and stuff. And when they do that, I just try to back off, and leave them alone because I do not want to stress my does out. But to me it helps, if your doe is used to you and it's just a normal routine for you to be around her hutch. And all during the pregnancy I'm out there, while they're laying down I try to watch their stomach to see if I can see a little thumping. Now I will tell you this, when they are pregnant and I know for sure they're pregnant, when I go out there I see little movement all the time. But I also looked that up on Google, and Google said it's their digestive tract. It's constantly moving. So you can't really go, you might see movement in there, but it could be their food digesting also. But I look for the little thumps. Now, if you see a thump in that tummy, then you know your doe is pregnant. And they also have ways there that you can, I think it's called palpate them, or something it's called. I don't know what the correct terminology is for that. But I can't ever do that because I can't ever feel anything. I've tried. I guess I didn't try hard enough, but I've tried with my does, but I can never feel. And some people are so good at it, like where they're feeling around the area where the babies are, they can actually count and tell you how many their doe is going to have. And that's just, I guess, from constant practice of doing it. And they have videos. If you get on YouTube or something and look it up, it would help if I could tell you the correct terminology for it. But if you just go on there and say, how can I tell if my doe is pregnant? I'm sure there's a video that will pop up and let you know. And I think it's called palpulating, something like that. But I haven't got to that point to where I can tell that way. But what I do is just go out and check my bunnies and, see if I see thumping. If you see thumping for sure, your doe's pregnant. And that's what I look for. Thought I would throw that in there too. While she's still cleaning them beautiful babies. And she'll stay in there a little bit after. And I think when they're born like this, they actually automatically attach and start eating. And she should be about done. I'm thinking she should be about done. Here she comes out of the nest box. Look at the little babies. Let's see. I see 4. And they're not in the little fur. Even though it's hot. And they will actually go toward that fur if I just leave them like this. But if anybody knows me, which I will eventually, I just can't keep my hands off of them. And then she will sit there and rest. And she probably won't go back in there today and feed those babies, because I'm sure they ate a little bit while she was having them and while she was in there cleaning herself. And she probably cleaned herself up really good in there. I don't know. She's going to clean some more. And there's the little babies. See how some of them are already going toward that fur? They will do that. If she leaves them right there, they just go in there. But a lot of times they have them closer to that fur. But they're going to find their way in there. And I usually give her a few minutes, to settle down before I go in there and grab them babies. Good job, Morgana. And there's the babies. And here they are. I've already got them out and brought them inside. And I am actually getting ready to weigh them. I like to get them out, inspect them, look at them. And here it looks like she's got two Harlequins, a broken black, and not sure what that other one is. This is a broken black. And you can see it's 2.0 ounces. And I will note this in my book. And then the next one, that one looks like what is that one? It's got some spots on it. Not sure what it is yet. Might be a try. This one is definitely a Harlequin. And it's 1.9 ounces. And I try to do this process as quick as possible. That is another Harlequin. So she had 4 altogether. And I try to do the weighing process, and this one's 1.1 ounces is what I'll mark that as. But I try to do it as quickly as possible and get them babies back in the nest box as quick as possible. But I do like to inspect them, get them out, and it's not going to hurt anything. You see me touching them with my bare hands. Rabbits are not like cats, or I don't even know if dogs are like that, but I know cats are. They don't like a human scent on their babies at all. So you can't really touch baby kittens when they're smaller, but the rabbits, they don't mind at all. Now what I do whenever they're first born, I do wash my hands before I touch another litter. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I look forward to bringing y'all more videos. Please like and subscribe. Thank y'all.